Welcome to our spotlight, Nathanael Kumar and the Sounds of Scandinavia. The Scandinavian Heritage Society is thrilled to be teaming up with Nathanael Kumar for a special recital celebrating Scandinavian and Nordic music, interpreted through the rich, unexpected voice of the euphonium. I'm here today with Nathanael to talk about his connection to this music, the stories behind the pieces, and how he brings the landscape of the North to life through sound. Welcome, Nathanael.
Hi, thanks so much for having me.
What got you interested in Scandinavian music in the first place?
I had the privilege to study at the International School of Stavanger for my elementary school education, and it was so much fun. It was such a beautiful time, and I made so many memories there. And it was also a great chance for me to get exposed to some Norwegian songs, among them Alle Fuller and Ja vi elsker, that have stuck with me for a long time as really lovely melodies that are just, a part of my memories of Norway. And then in recent years, as a student at Eastman, I found myself kind of unintentionally coming back to that music over the years. When I look back, I played the second movement of the Sibelius Violin Concerto in my first year. I played Valflicken's Dance, this lovely dance piece, in my second year. And I go back and I realized as I was putting this recital together that a lot of Scandinavian music has just been a part of what I do naturally. I think that speaks to the beauty of the music and the appeal that it has, that it's kind of somehow just threaded its way into what I do. And so it's such a pleasure to be kind of recapping all of those experiences in these performances.
That's really neat. How did you go about choosing these particular pieces for this recital? Was there a theme or feeling you were going for, or something else?
What I found when I'm coming up with a recital program is that I usually start with a particular piece that I love. And that way there's some kind of jewel at the heart of the recital that gets me really excited, and then I can frame it. For this recital, that piece was the Sibelius Violin Concerto, which I fell in love with. Gosh, it would have been, I guess, 5 years ago over COVID. I remember finding this piece and just listening to it all the time because what else do we have to do? This recording of Hilary Hahn in France playing the Sibelius Violin Concerto, and it's just a stunningly beautiful piece. It's really long and elaborate, and it has these gorgeous melodies. And despite being a euphonium player, I really fell in love with the music and the style, and I've wanted to play it for a long time. Um, so it felt like it'd be a really fitting thing to play it on my degree recital and also on this concert for the community and really share this music that I love so much.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear it. Were there any challenges or surprises in learning or arranging these pieces?
Definitely. I think obviously the Sibelius Concerto is a complicated thing to arrange just because the euphonium is so different from the violin. I had to think a lot about where to breathe because violinists can breathe wherever they want, but I have to be really careful about that, and making these really long phrases that I'm not so accustomed to having to make in euphonium music. But violin music has these gorgeous long phrases. And there were also, so I guess, some surprises would be in the Valflicken's Dance, this beautiful piece by Hugo Alfvén, which translates to Dance of the Shepherd Girl. It's like a showpiece. It's super energetic, and there are all these notes. And I remember looking at the score when I was going to learn it and thinking, "Oh my gosh, this is going to be a real trial." But the way it's written is so idiomatic for the euphonium and so easy and free that it actually was just a joy. And it's great because it's the kind of music you have to lose yourself in, and you really can. So it's been a
Oh,
pleasure to prepare that.
that's exciting as a musician,
Yeah,
and the audience members appreciate that too.
for sure, for sure.
Is there a particular composer or piece on the program that feels especially meaningful to you? You've mentioned the Sibelius.
Yeah, I guess I gave that one away early. But yeah, it would have to be the Sibelius. I think it's one of the pieces that got me so deep into classical music. So I owe it a lot in that respect that, euphonium isn't in the orchestra. It's not often featured in classical music. And so it's there's a little bit of a jump you have to make. If I were just listening to good euphonium music, it would be a lot of band music, and brass band stuff, marching bands, concert bands. But the orchestra has this lovely richness and also kind of a longer heritage and history to trace. And I think the Sibelius Concerto pulled me into that world that's so deep and rich and has all of these references and all this complexity to it that it's just been such a joy to explore.
I hope maybe this will kick off a new a new thing for euphonium players everywhere.
I hope it does too. It's a gorgeous piece. It's so much fun to play.
It's a wonderful instrument. How does performing this music? You mentioned a little bit. How does it performing the music connect to your own background?
So as you know, I'm not Scandinavian. I've just spent so much time in that world and I love the culture and the music so much. I think one of the privileges of playing the euphonium in particular is that we have a small repertoire. And so we have more license to play with what we program and to program things that are outside of that repertoire. And that, I think this program speaks to my identity as a musician, which is very much like the world is a sandbox. Play whatever you love because there's so much music out there and there are no rules really about what you can or can't play, especially in the euphonium world. So I think this program and this, in particular, like these kind of unorthodox pieces that I'm playing, speak to my identity as a creator and someone wanting to do things that are unusual and interesting. This program is certainly that.
Yeah, very innovative.
Mm-hmm.
What's it been like collaborating with Scandinavian Heritage Society for this concert?
I can't speak highly enough, truly, of the SHS. It's been such a privilege because y'all have been so organized and so responsive, and I felt so much enthusiasm for Scandinavian culture. In the meeting that I attended, I guess it would have been a couple weeks ago. I'm losing track of time these days. But it was so much fun to work with y'all there and connect a little bit more with like languages. We had that language club, and I've been kind of out of that world. At Eastman, I don't get a lot of chances to embrace Scandinavian culture, and it's been such a joy that we get to kind of embrace it. I get to embrace it alongside the society, and I felt so much support and interest in my work, which is, yeah, I'm very, very grateful that y'all are around and that we could make this happen.
Yeah, I'm glad you reached out. We 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 love connecting with all different kinds of cultures, not just our own, but cultures from all around the world too, and um, meeting people from all over the city and people who have different backgrounds. So this was right in our wheelhouse. If you could work with any Nordic composer, past or present, who would you pick and why?
I think I would have to go with Rautavaara. Probably not a household name, but he was a Finnish composer who has this incredible sense of narrative in his compositions. I was really struck by, I can't remember which piece I found first, his violin concerto, but then also his piano concerto number one. It opens with these clusters, which is when you play a bunch of notes that are right next to each other and they all kind of clash. And he has the pianist play them with their hand sideways on the piano, so you can hit a bunch of notes at once. And over the course of that first movement, it builds and builds in energy, and by the end, the pianist is playing with their arms on the whole piano. And it's
Oh,
incredibly loud and energetic, and the horns are bursting out a chord. It's so powerful. It's a kind of excitement and energy that I strive for in my own music, both as a performer and as a composer. And I think he's really mastered that. I would love to get a lesson with him, but unfortunately, he passed away about 10 years ago,
hmm.
about a decade ago. And I think part of the reason I would pick him for this question is just that it feels like we came so close. I would have
Yeah,
loved to meet him.
yeah, it sounds like a fascinating composer. I
Yeah,
don't know him offhand, so I'm going to have to do some more research.
I'll send you a link.
Oh, that would be awesome. Finally, last question. What do you hope people take away from this recital when they come to hear it?
More than anything, I hope people have a good time. But if I had to pick something that I want people to come away with, I hope that they remember that the euphonium really can do anything. I think people often haven't heard of the instrument, and that if they have heard of it, they maybe have heard us playing our standard rep, beautiful lyrical lines or whatever. But I think the euphonium, like there's so much potential to just play things that are crazy or play things that are really strange. And again, we have kind of the license to do that. We're a newer instrument. We have less standard rep. I hope that people come away remembering that, a lot of the limits that we feel and believe in are not, we don't always question them. And often if you do poke at them, they actually dissolve and actually you can go much further than people tell you you can. And I think that's certainly the case with euphonium.
Oh, that's fascinating. Well, I can't wait. So, join us for an evening where brass meets fjord, and Melody Meets Memory, a journey through the northern soundscape, one note at a time. And this concert's going to be Thursday, October 30th at 7 p.m. in the Taylor Chapel at Downtown Presbyterian Church. That's 121 North Fitzhugh Street in Rochester. And also, there will be an expanded program, Nathanael's degree recital, at Eastman School of Music's Hatch Recital Hall on November 16th at 8:30. That's a Sunday. And that will include everything on this recital plus more. Is that right?
Yeah.
And including your own composition called Norwegian Serenade. I think that's one of the things I'm looking forward to as a composer. Also, I'm very eager to hear that.
Yeah, I'm really excited to play it.
Yeah, it's been a real joy to get to know you and to interview you. Anything else you'd like to share before we leave?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed this, and I'm so much looking forward to the concert. I'd like to thank the Eastman School of Music and the Dean's Fund because they provided some financial support to make this concert happen, which I couldn't have done without them. So a big thanks to Eastman, and of course to the Scandinavian Heritage Society because yeah, this would never have happened without your enthusiasm and organization and your support. To make this like dream into something real that people can experience. And I'm so excited.
Yeah, this is very exciting for me, and I hope that we can have some more experiences like this.
Yeah,
And we wish
definitely.
you the very best in all of your future as well.
All right, thanks so much.
Thanks, Nathaniel.